Hello guys. So our today's topic will be the okay. Let me actually change my pen. The slope. The topic will be the slope of a line. Okay. So let's right away dropping to some of the really important information. For you guys to actually know it. Okay. So let's talking about some of the really important information. So over here you can see, we having the definition for the slope of a line. Okay, so we having the definition over here. The definition over here. The definition. Okay, so the definition tells us that we have given 2 point P x1 y1 and Q x2 y2 are any 2 point on a line. Okay, so those are the 2 points on a line. Then the slope of the line. So basically, when you actually talking about the slope, we usually using m. Usually using the letter m to indicate that is a slope. Okay. So basically. Okay, so whenever we're talking about the slope, we usually using m to actually measure it. Okay, and you can see the equation about how we actually calculate slope is over here. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit. So over here what we have is m is equal to the vertical change over the horizontal change. So it's basically equal to y2 minus y1 and then x2 minus x1. Okay. So as you can see over here, so here we got 2 points, right? So we got 2 points. We got a point P and a point P and a point Q, right? So basically, if you want to actually calculate a slope, you need to have any 2 points. You need to have any 2 points on a line in order to actually calculate the slope of a line. Okay. In order to actually calculate, the slope of a line. Okay. So you basically using the vertical change, which is y2 minus y1, right? And then the horizontal change, which is equal to x2 minus x1. So keep in mind, okay? Because this information is this information is really important. So make sure you memorize it. Memorize the equation, how you actually calculate a slope of it. Okay, and this is the only really important information if we want to actually find the slope of a line. Okay, so now let's actually doing some question, and let's drop into the question time. Okay, and then I will show you guys how you can using the equation over here, and how to find the slope of a line. Okay, so this section is not really difficult. It's basically some calculation of the slope. Okay, so I got 2 questions about how to finding the slope of a line, and I got the other two questions also about how to finding the slope of a line, but it's a little bit different. Okay, so let me actually show all the questions first. Right now is the time for you to actually if you know some of the answer, if you know how to solve the question, then feel free to skip it. Okay, otherwise I will talking about all the questions in detail. Make sure make everyone understand how we actually doing those questions. Okay, so let's start with the first kind of question. Okay, so over here, you can see is we want to find the slope of the line through each pair of the points, right? So for question 1, what we have is we got 2 points, right? So we basically got 2 points. As I mentioned before, the slope of a line is basically y2 minus y1 and then x2 minus x1, right? Okay, so this is x1 and then this is x2 and then this is y1 and then this is y2. Okay, so for now you basically plug in the point, right? y2 is equal to -2 minus y1 is actually -4, so you write it down -4. Okay, x2 is basically 3 minus x1 is -3, right? So now you kind of like solving for those calculation, right? So on the numerator we have -2 plus 4, so which is 2, right? And on the denominator what we have is 3 plus 3, right? 3 plus 3, which is 6, right? So 3 plus 3 is 3 is 6. So now we can cancel some terms, right? So we can getting a much more simplified form, and what we find is m is actually equal to 1/3, 1/3, right? Okay, so the answer for question 1, the slope of a line is actually equal to 1/3. Okay, so let's move into the second question. Okay, as I said before, here we want to find the slope, so make sure you write down the equation first. Okay, you make sure you write down the equation first, because you always want to include all the steps, right? And we have x1 equal to -5, and then x2 also equal to -5, and then y1 equal to -3, and then y2 is equal to 2. Okay, and then you just plug in the number in order. Okay, the order is really important over here. Order is really important. Okay, order is really important. You just you plug in the number in order. Okay, because if you don't plug in order, then you will get in wrong answer. Okay, so what we have is y2 is 2 over here, and then we have minus y1 is -3. So okay, you write it down exactly what the notation the notation said. Okay, x2 is -5, right? x2 is -5 minus x1 is actually also -5, right? Okay, so so let's continue. Okay, so what we have for the numerator, what we have is 2 plus 3, which is equal to 5, right? Which is equal to 5, right? So over here you can see on the bottom of the denominator, you can see we have a -5, and then we have plus 5, right? So that becomes 0 and 5. So this is actually undefined, right? This is actually undefined because everyone knows that the denominator cannot be 0, right? So everyone knows that the denominator cannot be equal to 0. But over here, you look at the question again, you see, they both having the same x, right? So you know that, you see you look at those 2 points. They both having the same x equal to -5. So that's basically mean the equation for this for those 2 points is actually x equal to -5. So that's why for question 2 it doesn't have a slope, right? It doesn't have a slope because this one is actually a line, right? So if we actually using the graphic to actually represent this, this equation, x equal to -5, we have x over here, and suppose here is -5. So this represent a vertical line, right? A vertical line. So therefore it doesn't have a slope, cause it will always doesn't have a slope, cause for all the time it's actually having the same x. It actually having the same x, right? So having the same x means having the same x means the denominator it will always be equal to 0 no matter how you choose it. So therefore, the answer for, as you can see, the answer for this solution is actually undefined, right? Because this one is this just represent a line, right? Okay, makes sense, right? So so basically the point over here is that this line represent x equal to -5. X will always be -5, right? So that means the bottom part over here is x2 minus x1. So no matter so the denominator will always be in 0, right? Because x is the same thing all the time. So no matter which point you're actually choosing, the denominator will always be 0. Okay, the denominator will be 0, and then so therefore for those 2 points the slope is undefined. Okay. Okay, so let's move into the second part. Okay, so this is kind of like a different kind of question. Okay, so here we still want to finding the slope of the line graphic of the line below, or of the line is this graphic below. Okay, so as I said before, if you want to finding the slope, let me actually the information we're talking, the really important information we're talking about before, we know that if we want to find n, right, we need to find to find at least 2 points, right? At least need to find 2 points, right? And after we finding 2 points, so we can using the equation to actually find it, right? Okay, so now you can see over here we got a graphic, right? We got a graphic, and then you can see there's a line over here, right? There's a line over here. So the first thing, so we want to find 2 points in order to find the slope, right? So first thing, all you have to do is we have to label the graphic, right? So we have to label the graphic in order to know what is the value for those 2 points, right? So again, we so as I said before, the easiest point to find is basically the x-intercept and then the y-intercept. Right? If you a little bit confused, then you may watching my previous video. Okay, so the easiest point you want to find is the x-intercept and then the y-intercept. Okay, so let's label the graphic, and as you can see over here we got a y-intercept, which is 0, 5. That is basically the this one is actually the x-intercept, sorry. Sorry, okay, so this one is actually an x-intercept, and then here is -1, and then here is -2. So this represents the y-intercept. This point is -2.50. Okay, and then this one is actually the y-intercept. Okay, so those are the most easy point you can find for a line. Okay, and for now we already finding the x-intercept and the y-intercept. So now we should be able to, finding the slope of the line, right? As I mentioned before, the order is really important. So here we have x1 and then x2. Okay, and then we have 1 and then y2. Okay, so now the rest thing is we just basically plug in the number, right? So we have y2 is actually equal to 5 minus y1 is equal to 0, and then we got x2 is actually equal to 0 minus x1 is basically -2.5, right? Okay, let me move it down a little bit. 5 minus 0 is equal to 5. 0 minus 2.5 is actually positive 2.5, right? And then the solution will be 2, right? So the solution for this for this graphic, the slope is actually equal to 2. So that's basically the step you need to take in order to find the slope of it. The answer for this question is equal to 2. Okay, that's the slope of the line. Okay, so let's move into the last question. So for now, pause the video and then try to doing this question by yourself. Okay, pause the video. Okay, so for this question, it is always the same step as I tell you guys the previous one. Okay, so let me actually write it down. Okay, so here what we want to find is n is the slope of the line. Okay, so how we actually find n? We need to find 2 points, right? We need to find 2 points, and as I say before, the easiest 2 point what you can find is basically the x-intercept, right? X-intercept, sorry for the writing, and the y-intercept, right? So those are the most easy point. Those are the most easy point to find it. Okay, and then after you finding the points, the x-intercept and the y-intercept, then you can just basically plug into the equation, right? M equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, so it is how we actually try to find the slope of it, right? So now we focus on the graphic. So first thing is we have to label the graphic in order to find the correct number of the x-intercept and the y-intercept, right? 1. So you can see for the x-intercept, we got 0.2 as the x-intercept, right? Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay, I always kind of like making those kind of mistakes. I think this one is actually the y-intercept. Sorry about that. Sorry. Okay, so this one is actually the y-intercept. Sorry about that. Let me actually, also also rewrite this part. Okay, I'm thinking my mind is kind of like so here is also the y-intercept, and then this one is actually the x-intercept. Sorry about that. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, this is actually the y-intercept, and then this one is actually the x-intercept. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so here we're finding the y-intercept is actually 0, 2. Okay, we're finding the y-intercept which is equal to 0, 2. And now what we want to find is the x-intercept. Okay, you label it, and then you find the x-intercept is actually 0, negative 6, 0. So this is actually the x-intercept. Okay. Okay, so now we basically finding all the we're already finding the x-intercept and the y-intercept. So now we are ready to actually find the slope of it, right? As I mentioned before, the order is really important. Okay, so we have x1, and then x2, and then y1, and then y2. Okay, so you plug in those values in order. Okay, so the order is really important. If you plug in the order wrong, then n will be different from the answer. Okay, so we have y2 is actually equal to 2 minus y1 is equal to 0. x2 is equal to 0 minus x1 is actually negative 6, right? So let me actually moving down a little bit. Okay, so now let's continue. Okay, 2 minus 0 is actually 2, and then 0 minus 6 is actually equal to 6. Now you can actually cancel some term, and the final solution for the slope m is actually m equal to 1/3. Okay, hopefully everyone does get the same slope, m equal to 1/3. That's the answer for that's m equal to 1/3 is the slope of the line for this graphic. Okay, so basically we basically talking about in this topic we basically talking about the slope of a line, right? We basically is talking about the equation, right? So we basically saying something about the equation, and and how we actually finding those slope in those problem, right? Okay, so thank you guys to actually watching thank you guys to actually watching this video. Okay, so thank you guys to actually watching this video, and hopefully you does learn something. Okay, hopefully you does learn something from it. So make sure you also like subscribe to my channel, also like the video. Okay, also like the video, yeah. So if you still having some if you still having some problems, then please leave a comment below. So subscribe to my channel, like the video, and turn on the notification on. Okay, yeah. So see you guys on the next video.